Clark Teuscher is here now from the North Central Sports Information Department. Good to see you, Clark.
Good to see you.
Well, sticking with hoops, women's basketball notched a big win at home over North Park for a sweep of the Vikings, not nearly as close as last time.
Yeah, they were able to find some holes in the defense and make some adjustments from last time. Christine Carl had a big game, scored 20 points, I believe, and which was a season high for her. It was good to see her get back in the scoring column a little bit for them, and really a comfortable win.
And somebody having a heck of a senior season is Jackie Arico. I mean, you look at these numbers, 17 points per game, leads the conference in conference games, 7.5 boards per, 91% free throw percentage. She's somebody that maybe could make a late run for Conference Player of the Year?
It's tough to say. It's a vote by the head coaches, and they take team success into the equation, and unfortunately that hasn't quite worked out the way our team has wanted it to. So you don't know how much of a factor that'll have. Certainly it would make sense to see her on the first team all-conference list. As far as the Player of the Year, it's tough to say how that's going to go.
No doubt about it. We moved to the track team. Cardinal men stick at #1 in the coaches poll. The 4x4 relay put up a big number, bringing home CCIW Runner of the Week, the team's 3rd straight award.
Yeah, that's the first time a relay team has gotten that award, actually, since the CCIW started handing those out. They've turned in what's right now the top time in the nation at their meet last weekend, 3:17 and change, which is just off of what they ran at the national championships last year when they won it. So, we have a Division I transfer that's on that team by Caba from the University of Illinois, and 3 guys who were on the national championship team last year. So certainly some strong signs there as they prepare to try and defend that championship in March.
And I know with some of their relays, they've got some guys that aren't as healthy as they were last year, and it's interesting to see some interchangeable parts come in and still put up those fast times.
Well, it's a long season, and not everybody is healthy throughout that whole time, so you need to have other guys that are capable of coming in and performing, and they've been able to do that throughout the tenure of the coaches being there. So it's certainly an opportunity. Each one of those injuries is an opportunity for somebody else to step up, and it's been nice to see time and again whoever they've thrown in there, they've been able to come in and perform and not lose anything.
And not only the relays, really a great total team performance against some top competition up in Whitewater last weekend.
Yeah, it was a very tough meet. There were 6 of the top 16 Division III teams in the country. Ended up finishing about 10 points out of first place to the 2nd-ranked team in the country, UW La Crosse. Several top performances, improving provisional or automatic marks. Among the top of those was Neil Klein in the 5,000-meter run. He dropped about 20 seconds off of his personal best.
Wow.
And finished just outside the automatic qualifying mark. It looks like it's going to be good enough to get him into nationals.
And the women's runners and throwers also turned in some great performances over the weekend. It started with Melissa Savino going down to Bloomington and just dominating the pentathlon.
Yeah, that's kind of been her right in her wheelhouse since they started having that event about 3 years ago. She's been to both the national championships events that they've had in that event. Looks like she's headed for a 3rd one.
And moving to Whitewater on Saturday, a 3rd-place finish, very solid with some very good qualifying efforts.
Yeah, Sheila Walsh and Lauren Brightmore both in the 400-meter dash. Sheila had one of the top marks in the country so far, continues to run well. The 4x400-meter relay got under the provisional mark. I'm not sure if that one's going to hold up. They might need to improve that a little bit. But certainly a lot of good signs. They've got right now, I think, 9 athletes total, either provisionally or automatically qualified. Which is close to what they had for the whole season last year.
And it may be hard to believe, but some of these spring sports really only 3-4 weeks away. You look at the baseball team coming off a very good season from last year, and looking at the roster, Cardinal fans, a lot of familiar faces from different Cardinal sports teams going to be suiting up for the baseball team this year.
Yeah, Brad Crackle is one of the quarterbacks for the football team, is going to be suiting up as a pitcher for baseball. Was probably better at baseball than football as a high school athlete. So he's going to be one of the, they're not sure how they're going to work the starting rotation yet, but he's going to be one of the weekend starters for the conference series once we get into the spring. Certainly most of the position players are back from last year. A lot of veterans on the team. The pitching staff, a lot of the top guys are back. There's some young guys with reportedly some very good stuff. So it's going to be could be an exciting season once again for Cardinal baseball.
And the men's tennis team as well suits up here in the first week of March. We all know about Sam Sweeney, but who are some of these other contributors?
Well, Matt Boguslawski has been Sam Sweeney's doubles partner, has been the #2 singles player the last couple of years. has really improved as a player, just in his overall game. And there's several younger guys coming in that are competing for some of those varsity spots. So we'll have to see how that shakes out here in the spring.
Well, Clark, we appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you joining us as well for this edition of the Cardinal Report. We hope you tune in next week as the women's track team steps on set after taking part in the Chicagoland Indoor Championships. I'm Alex Simmons. See you next time.